MRP Mortgage Please Dota here with Gerg. What is HIP TV to bring you all the action? We like to get interactive with the chat in between games, so you guys get to nap with Greg and eat dinner with me. How do you like it?
Jesus, man, that was, I've done some things while streaming, but I think that was the first for me. Just full on yawn right into the microphone.
Yeah, I think they heard me eat a whole lemon pepper haddock. So either way,
lemon pepper haddock. That sounds great.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm jealous. Did you make it yourself?
Canadian food for the win. I did not. No, wow. I got mama to do it, so it's nice. But either way,
I'm jealous. That sounds great. I would be a happy camper if I had a lemon pepper haddock right now. Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, Troll made it through the graft. All right, we can turn the game off now, guys. No reason to watch this one.
LVT picking up the Troll.
Game over.
Yeah,
we're done here.
Lost their first game of the night up against Summer's Rift. If you guys, I keep trying not to say Summer's Rift. If you guys saw that,
habits.
BSJ set a record 30-minute net worth on his Huskar. Pretty damn good performance all around from their entire lineup. So paiN Gaming winless thus far, 0-1. Gonna look to bring it back in this one. LVT looking pretty strong earlier on from what I've seen from them. Definitely tough competition in this Group A though, so we'll see how they fare.
Batriders picked up here, I think as a direct response to Troll. Makes sense in my mind. Lasso is a good way to deal with Troll. Lion picked up as well. Popular hero for paiN Gaming and good performance, honestly, in the last game, despite the fact that they lost. I felt that the Lion was one of their shining lights in a dark game for paiN. So
yeah,
good start, I think, for paiN Gaming in the draft. Troll and Vengeful Spirit, nothing to be said there. Vengeful Spirit's just a pretty good support at everything. Decent stun. Minus armor is pretty good with Troll. Obviously, the aura synergizes as well. And Troll's broken as hell. No reason to really talk about that hero. And after some quick checking, Leviathan have a little over 65% win rate with him. So that's pretty solid in 38 games. So
wow,
we'll see. I'm interested to see what they pair up with it. Sniper's banned out. That's a really popular option. And there's a lot of good options. I mean, pretty much any hero that has an auto attack, I've heard, goes well with Troll. So, the options are pretty unlimited for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of heroes that go well, especially if you can throw the Troll in the mid lane. If you can afford to do that and pick up something like a Jug, that's nasty as hell. The Tiny's still in the pool. IO was banned out, though, so generally you won't see the Tiny come out for LVT side without it. But yeah, either way, pretty damn comfortable with the Troll. You mentioned King RD's Lion. He actually does swap up the offlane with Tavo quite a bit, but whenever there's a Lion in the lineup, he's always the one to play it. And you touched upon it, he did look pretty damn good for most of the game, despite them going down.
Stuns.
Yeah. So we'll see a Zeus and a PL ban come out from LVT. Of course, illusion base carries do pretty well up against Troll. Allow him to have to switch focus and then lose his stacks on Fervor. So for obvious reasons, they don't want to see that. They got a quick Roshing lineup here for LVT. So Batrider is kind of nice if they're diligent about keeping their vision around the pit. paiN may be able to punish LVT for this one. They're going to ban out the Storm Spirit from them, so a little bit of counter initiation works well up against the Batrider, and also synergizes pretty well with Troll, deceptively so. Attack speed's really good on Storm Spirit, allows you to get a lot more overloads off, so that's more the bulk of his damage.
The other thing I like about Leviathan's lineup is the Vengeful Spirit. Obviously, against the Batrider, swap is going to be a really, really powerful tool to make sure that those initiations are not as powerful as they could be. And I imagine that Vengeful Spirit primary role will just be making sure the Troll is safe in team fights. So it's a good pick. I mean, I actually really like Vengeful Spirit. I think the skill set's really good.
Yeah.
Minus armor is really useful. The stun is really strong in the early game. You can roam. I'm personally a big fan of supports with the ability to roam, and Vengeful Spirit definitely fits the bill for that one. Lina going to be picked up here for paiN Gaming. And I really like Lina as well. I think I think Lina is another good pick against the Troll. If you can get enough farm up, pure damage is obviously going to be really, really good for killing him. So
yeah, They do have a lot of setup as well with the Lion and the Bat Rider. LVT still have an SF on the board for them. I know they like to run that quite a bit, and it synergizes pretty well with the Troll, having the extra right click available to him. Is another BKB carry, natural BKB carrier, I should say, and Lasso obviously throws a wrench into those plans, but LVT are pretty comfortable with it, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pick it up here. Lina won't dominate an SF mid lane. Probably will farm a little bit better, but should be a fine matchup if they look for it.
Yeah, I mean, that lane's kind of, it's a little bit tricky, I think. A lot of it comes down to player skill. The SF has to do a good job controlling the creeps. Otherwise, Lina can get a pretty good advantage in that lane, just utilizing the nuke and attack speed buff from Fiery Soul. So I think that's a pretty skill-based matchup if they do want to go for it, but they do have players who are really, really comfortable in that SF, like you mentioned, so I'm sure we'll be able to, and if they do go that route, he'll be able to control it pretty easily. So Spirit Breaker picked up here for Leviathan, and that's kind of an interesting pickup. Leviathan, I think, known for a couple of heroes that they occasionally play that are a little bit unconventional. Spirit Breaker, I think, is definitely one of them. Pudge, obviously, one of Jenkins' signature heroes that they do like to pull out every once in a while for very specific lineups, but could actually be okay in this game, to be honest. A lot of squishy heroes for Pudge to eat.
Yeah, a lot of squishy heroes, a lot of disable available to paiN as well, though I feel like Spirit Breaker's going to need a little bit of assistance in most of these ganks, aside from just having that battle trance available to him. If paiN's diligent about keeping their vision, they got the Yules on Lina to at least avoid the charge. They got the Hex instant cast from Lion. They got the Bat Rider to counter initiate as well. So I feel like Spirit Breaker's going to need at least a portion of his lineup behind him to be super effective. But he's very much a feast or famine pick. Can make Leviathan look like geniuses here. Can also make them look like scrubs. So we'll see which it ends up being. paiN going to pick up a very tanky core. One that's certainly not an ideal target for charge here. A little bit of a lack of magic damage coming out from LVT's side, so Corrosive Skin not going to be as valuable as it is usually, but Viper, not a bad pick nonetheless.
Yeah, Viper is a really good peer, I think. They're going to have some issues in the earlier parts of the game actually putting together enough damage to kill the Viper, barring some different picks here. So I like it quite a bit. Fits in, I mean, Viper fits into most lineups, to be honest with you. So he kind of, you just slam him in the lane. He's good to go. Doesn't really need any help. Can play against pretty much every single hero. Just a pretty safe pick. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like me some Viper every once in a while. Get behind it.
Yeah, I mean, he's boring, but he is super
it's not an exciting
effective
pick.
at kiting melee cores. And already LVT showing 2 melee cores, one of which is probably, I was going to say towards the offlane, but now with the clock pick makes it a little bit more convoluted for LVT. Maybe this is a mid lane troll.
Could be. I think I don't actually know what that, if it ends up being against the Lina. I don't know if that lane seems like it'd be okay. I don't know. It'd be kind of I think it'd be annoying because it's a lot harder to get last hits with the range attack, obviously, so he's potentially just going to get right-clicked on constantly by the Lina, which can be pretty aggravating. Have to assume that this is a mid-lane Lina, safe lane Viper. Viper sometimes does see some play in the mid lane, so no guarantees there, but I think Lina much better suited to that mid lane. You just want to get as much experience as possible. Make sure you get your ultimate online as early as possible, so have to expect that. Yeah,
quick 6 definitely worth it, more so for the Lina than it is for the Viper. Viper with free farm will pick up that mech early on regardless, so safe lane he'll do just fine. He's also not bad to pair up with a support like Lion. I mean, it could be a support Lina at the end of the day, but we've seen
possible, yeah,
we've seen how effective she's been in a core role recently, so either way, going to be a little bit scary early on for LVT. They do have some tankiness on their side in terms of the Spirit Breaker and the Clockwork. So we'll see if it ends up being one of these heroes in a support role or if they're going to give their mid lane over to that Troll. SF ban does come out for paiN, so it seems like they've done a bit of their homework. They certainly did up against BSJ in the first game of the night. Unfortunately for them, doesn't end up working out, but they're going to take the SF out of the pool for Leviathan, so they are expecting one of this SB or Clock to be support. And we'll see which direction.
I think it's going to be a 4-position Spirit Breaker. That's how I imagine this lineup working, at least. Certainly more common or predictable than the Clockwork being in a support role. That would be very odd.
either way. paiN gonna look to round out
option.
this lineup with either a support or maybe a safe laner if they put the Viper mid and put this Lina into the support role. But I really feel like Lina core could work for them. They are very strong mid game with a safe lane Viper and having that blink lasso up. They are going to go for the safe laner though, so will be Lina in the support role.
Huh. Well, that certainly changes things a bit. I'm actually very surprised. I even looked through some recent games with paiN. They've run middle every time. Well, we'll see how they end up actually laning this. I guess it's just going to be a Viper middle, Batrider off lane, Luna safe lane. I mean, would be the conventional way, unless they do something really bizarre here. I'm surprised, to be honest. I don't like Lina in the support role. I think you benefit quite a bit more from just going for fast duels into like Aghanims. You can solo kill basically any hero on the map. And now, I mean, now the Lina is going to be very susceptible to getting killed by the Spirit Breaker. Pretty hard to hit the Light Strike array on a charging Spirit Breaker, especially if your positioning is not like perfect at all the time for the charges. So I feel like the Lina definitely could possibly just now get bullied by the Spirit Breaker and Clockwork combo, or Vengeful Spirit, anyone helping out the Spirit Breaker at all.
I feel like the most likely possibility, or at least the way I would run this for paiN, is to run an aggro try around the Luna and put the Batrider 1 versus 1 against the clock. He should do very well in that. So I feel like at least having this set up there, they're a little bit weak on LVT's side in terms of zoning. Is it a clock support?
No. I'm talking about the Lina. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Lina's.
Sorry, did I say around the Lina? I meant around the Luna.
No. I was just commenting. I just can't believe that they're doing sport. Sport Lina, to be honest.
Yeah. Baga, King RD gonna pick that up. Tavo. I'd like to see him in a 1v1 against the clock. We'll see what they end up doing. Of course, that doesn't allow the supports to rotate into the jungle, and Lion and Lina both very effective when given farm. So Radiant side may opt to have the jungle behind them in the first place, but I feel like Batrider does nicely in that 1v1, and maybe that's the way that they make the Lina get a little more farm, is by farming heroes. So we'll see what they opt to do regardless. We'll hop into this one, guys. Second best of one of the night, 4 coming your way. Up next, you're going to see Summoner's Rift against Leviathan, so that should be a very good matchup. For the Radiant side, though, paiN, second game in a row of the night. They've got once again... Actually, Tavo is going towards that safe lane, so it will be the laning configuration that I mentioned. He's going to play on the Batrider, soon going to play on that mid lane Viper, King RD on the Lina, 4DR on the Luna, and Baga on the Lion.
14 Leviathan and Shredder on the Troll. Shibby going to be on the Wind Ranger. Newsham is going to be on that Spirit Breaker. Flying Zebra down on the bottom lane on the Vengeful Spirit, and Jenkins going to be on the Clockwork. I like this set. Nice set.
Yeah, it's cheap as hell too. Volvo screwed up.
I'm into the cosmetics, you know. So big fan.
Yeah, gift hats. A lot of giveaways for Dota 2 Canada, guys. Be sure to check out the Twitter more often than not for that.
And check it out. Today we're giving away a $20 gift from G2A, a MSI motherboard, and SteelSeries Rival mouse. That comes with an in-game item as well, which I do not remember. I think it's
Hell's Glare. Yeah, Hell's Glare for Doom. Yeah, so that's the one. Top Rune may see a 3-on-3 engagement here. 4-on-3 it should be. Shibby, though, does have the win run if need be, so we'll just be a top banner rune secured by the Radiant side, bottom by the Dire side. Nothing too new here. Jenkins going to actually pick that up, so quick level 2 on the Clockwork could help him out quite a bit here.
Yeah, that's really valuable for them to be able to pick up. On the other side, it's the Viper who picks up the rune. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be that aggressive tri-lane, like you mentioned. How's this actually going to work out? I think actually this could go really well for them. I mean, I don't really see how Leviathan are going to deal with this lane. Spear Breaker is not an ideal person, or not an ideal hero. He really wants to be roaming around the map a little bit more, utilizing the charge to kind of catch people off guard. It's a little bit harder to do that in this situation, especially with good ward bridge. Yeah. Vengeful Spirit will be very strong in this lane, though, for sure.
I mean, at the very least, the zoning potential for King RD and Baga is a lot better than it is for Newsham and for the Flying Zebra Venge. So we'll see if they're able to garner any kills off of it. Of course, they're giving up their jungle to do this, but I think elsewhere, Tavo should have a good time against Jenkins, so should work out if they don't misstep.
despite the fact that this is support Lina, I do hope to see Lina actually get some solo farm at some point, just to get those levels up, especially since they're starting in an offensive tri-lane. You know, they're not going to be able to pull creeps nearly as easily. Very, very easy to fall behind on experience in an aggressive tri-lane if you're not converting on those kills. So King RD has his work cut out for him this game, I think. Tavo in the bottom lane up against the Clockwork. This is a lane we've seen quite a few times, and comes down to cog usage, mana efficiency as well for those two heroes. And Windrunner versus Viper in the mid lane. I think this is a pretty obnoxious lane for the Windrunner. You don't have a ton of HP, so it's pretty easy for you to kind of just get donked on in the beginning of the game by the Viper. I mean, a lot of heroes are susceptible to that, but obviously Windrun should keep her from actually dying, so that's good.
Yeah, Motpack's going to be in here. Shout out to him and shout out to Knoxville for game 1. Charge is going to go onto King RD into the river. He's going to get first hit bashed as well. But Baga going to be there to back the Spirit Breaker off. Flying Zebra not able to close the distance for that magic missile. Stat coming in from Motpack. Shibby has one other pro game on record in this patch as Wind Ranger. It was a loss to E-Hug against the Viper in the mid lane, so maybe not boding well. But as you mentioned, having the win run there should keep her safe and allow her to farm more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, should be able to get some decent farm in this lane with Power Shot. Wind Run actually keeping you from dying, but again, you're playing against Viper, who just has tons of damage, so you do have to be careful.
Yeah, certainly so. Other than that, things going to pretty much be stagnant at this point. A little interesting to see this aggro try be as passive as it has, already having the level 2s on their supports.
Yeah, Shredder has moved over to the jungle a little bit. I mean, I guess they're a little bit afraid of this aggressive tri-lane, but I mean, these supports are just level 2, getting nothing really, which is pretty unfortunate. Vengeful Spirit still at level 1, actually, just pulling away. This is a very, very poor Vengeful Spirit. So,
yeah, I had to de-ward there to unblock the camp. And we'll be able to pull it, but it's only a single pull at this point, so it's actually going to end up pushing the lane up a bit if they're not diligent about it. In the meantime, paiN already pulling to a double-stacked hard camp, so this is really boding
Jenkins
well.
In the bottom lane, being very, very aggressive here, putting a lot of damage onto Tavo. He's actually going to go for the kill here. He's really close to getting it. Well played there. Not aggroing the tower, just walking around, clicking. That's actually pretty hard to do, so... He's able to put a lot of damage onto that Batrider there. Well played.
Yeah, gonna force out the Firefly as well. Brings Tavo to no mana. He's got clarity, so he'll be just fine to
Jenkins,
continue to
I think, might start wrecking this lane here in a minute.
Do it with flair.
Yep, Tavo really gonna be a little bit hard pressed. Should be able to find his farm, but Jenkins can pretty much zone him out of his lane as he pleases already. This off lane Clockwork at level 5, so certainly not too afraid.
The Clockwork, you know, he's pretty formidable in 1v1s. We're normally used to seeing him against tri-lanes and stuff like that, but 1v1s, he can get a really, really nice advantage with proper use of battery assault like he just did, so really good stuff.
Yeah, Tavo, though, having early farm, certainly very nice for the side of paiN. Allow them to get really active during the mid-game. He can retreat to the jungle as well. Has picked up the Bassi, so won't have the Tranquils quite yet for himself, but he's already starting to jump back into the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, this is the good thing about the Batrider, right? Like, you get zoned out of lane, it's okay. It's fine with me. I have other things I can be doing, so it is very, very good for the Clockwork, though. He's just given a free level 6, basically, 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and he does have that level 6 now, so he can, if he chooses, try to gank the Viper in the mid lane, which can be a little bit of a hard kill, but only going to get more difficult when the mech comes up. I think right now he's just looking to both de-ward or maybe find the Batrider in the jungle somewhere, but fortunately not going to be able to do that because any 1v1 at this point, pretty much free kill for the Clockwork, so... Bot level 2 on the Lion. This is when I get worried about those aggressive tri-lanes. Just they struggle so much. I mean, the Venge is struggling as well because of that, having to clear out that pole camp. But geez,
Leviathan have just completely dodged it effectively. I mean, they put Shredder back into the jungle, and they give a little bit of space to Nushim in the lane, but he's the tankiest core they have at this point, even without items. Hookshot is going to fly. Jenkins going to find him, and the charge forward is going to get canceled by Nushim. Interesting, but the battery assault more than enough to bring him down, and the rotation in from Baga way too late. First blood is onto the carry of paiN in the aggressive try, and already, as you mentioned, it looks pretty unsuccessful there for them, and now it's starved out their supports quite heavily.
Yeah, this is that was a good kill for them, making sure they keep this Lina kind of under control, who has been getting really, really good CS. I mean, like you mentioned, Leviathan have pretty effectively dodged it, but that does mean that the Luna has pretty much been able to do whatever she wants in terms of getting farm. So good for them to keep that under control. Nice objective by Leviathan, able to kill her. So Nusham is going to get a lot of XP now out of this lane, though, which is really, really good. Getting the levels in the Spirit Breaker is very valuable, makes it easy to get some kills. Jenkins might be interested in trying to kill Tavo here. I think he's probably waiting for this Firefly to be mostly up before he starts it. And now he just basically is looking for a straight 1v1. He wants to get all the battery assault ticks. With the help of this breaker, this should be a pretty easy kill.
Yeah, charge coming in from a long distance. He's going to get the hook. And yeah, not even need to wait for this Spirit Breaker to come through. Power shot for good measure as well. Nusham jumps down into the lane. And probably see Jenkins give him a bit of space here as well, just because Jenkins already picked up those phase boots, doing very well at level 8, 7 minutes in. I think he's stopping the board at this point, and he is. So Jenkins coming out of this 1v1, looking very good for Leviathan.
Yeah, Leviathan have managed their lanes pretty well here. The Luna is a bit of an issue, but that's not too bad. And then they have gotten some good experience on the Lina, so they're heading in. Both teams, I think, are heading in the right direction. Both are probably pretty happy with how this is going. I imagine paiN probably wanted to get a lot more kills in the top lane, but this could be really bad.
Yeah, they're going to jump in. Nusham gets the charge off. Whiff on Baga's Impale. The Hex is there onto Jenkins to keep them at bay, though. And the LSA also there. The Beam going to keep Jenkins back. Very nice recovery from paiN. Missing that Impale, I felt like I was going to be 3 dead in that lane.
Yeah, I think a little bit. So I think that could have been a kill if they had not done that, but not able to get it. 3 heroes still alive for paiN. And Leviathan, I think, want to retake top lane, make 40R, go somewhere else, make him so he can't farm so efficiently. In goes the Clockwork. Baga dies instantly. Now the Spirit Breaker going ham, has to cancel it. Not willing to dive under the tower. I think that's the right move, especially because you can just get Lucent Beamed and then be stuck under the tower, get Light Strike as well. That's a good way to die.
Yeah, not even necessary. They're continuously securing an advantage here. Bot lane, Shackle goes out onto Tavo. Focus Fire's here with a double damage. Rocket Flare is going to whiff, but this Batrider's dead. Power shot to seal it up. And Chibi...
I feel like this Batrider can't catch a break. That's pretty unfortunate. Goes down. Is level 8, though. Yeah. But every kill they get on this Batrider is very valuable. Delaying that Blink Dagger as much as possible. And, I mean, it's 850, only 1,000 gold on that Batrider, so... Yeah,
coming out of a safe lane, you certainly expect him to be very close, if not at his Blink Dagger at this point. So that really puts a hampering on paiN's ability to initiate in this mid-game, and that's where they're strongest, having a Viper, Batrider, Luna, Tricore. So I worry for their ability to scale in this one up against the Troll.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit hard for them to kill the heroes on the next couple of minutes, though, for paiN, or at least any hero that's near the Viper, now that they have the mechanism. But their supports are incredibly squishy, which is great for Clockwork and Spirit Breaker. Both of them are very, very, very good at killing low HP supports. So we'll see if LVT or Leviathan are able to continue getting pickoffs over the next couple of minutes here. I think that's going to be their goal. They just want to clear out a little bit of space for Shredder, get him a couple of items, and then Troll can do Troll things and really take care of that mid-game. So they're going to rotate down to bottom lane. Clockwork and Windrunner looking to get a kill here. Lina is waiting in the back, but Luna is a very, very easy kill if they do manage to catch Lina in in the cogs.
Hookshot, clear vision here for Jenkins. He can go in with the charge buff being there. Shackle is going to land. Hookshot in, and 40R is dead before the charge even comes through. Nusham going to get charged up, though. The swap, very nice. Nether Strike is there. It's going to pop him out of the power shot, though, and the Viper Strike will keep Nusham slow. Nusham going to fall 1 for 1 thus far. Actually, that Nether Strike saving the Lina effectively by pushing her out of power shot.
That's what I was just talking about. That mech at 10 minutes is so good. So much HP there for the whole team. And soon, there was just really good rotations all around, honestly, bringing in all those heroes, meching up, saving the Lina, getting a kill on the Spirit Breaker. But at the end of the day, it's still a Spirit Breaker for a Luna, which is a profitable trade for sure for Leviathan. They just want to keep the farm down, give the Troll some space again, and just open up an opportunity for Troll to really capitalize on that mid-game.
Yeah, they're going to charge forward to 4DR again. This may be canceled. No hookshot available to Jenkins for him to immediately get into the fray. And the Eclipse is up for the Luna, so Nusham is going to cancel it. Is he stuck in the trees? No, he's not. Sitting by the tier 1 for now, so they're going to stave the aggression. Right now, they need a little bit more vision. We see Nusham ping out the Radiant jungle, but 4DR are going to be safe for now. They're going to aggress upon the tier 1 top with the Focus Fire and the Fervor. Easy kill going Shredder and Shibi's way, and that's the first tier 1 of the game down.
Now we've got some stats information here from Modpox about I can never pronounce his name, whatever. Hookshot going in on soon, the Viper, but yeah, he actually does not have quite enough mana to mech. He would have to tread switch, but not able to find a little space of opportunity to do that. 4 heroes just bring him down brutally.
Well worth the commitment as well. He's the top net worth target on paiN's side and really the only relevant hero at this point of the game. No one else very scary. 4DR starting to find some farm bot lane, but really doesn't even have any really good item progression to speak of. King RD is going to find a little bit of space in the mid lane. Still doesn't have that Laguna Blade available to him though. So pretty ineffective on the Lina. The Bat Rider, look at his blink timing. It has just come out now. So 12 minutes in isn't terrible. I mean, considering that it was safe lane, maybe could have been a bit quicker.
Luna needs to be careful here. Oh, I think this is going to be a dead Luna.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate for 4DR as well. Oh, nice two-man impale from Baga though. And they are going to make it away with the Empowering Haste active. But yeah, running into the creeps there meant she couldn't use Eclipse because it most likely would have gotten soaked up. So I thought she would have died, but either way, nice stun. Jump forward, lasso from Tavo onto Shibi mid lane. LSA will be there. There's the Laguna Blade just acquired. And the Viper Strike will kick Shibi down. Knowing that the win run was there, soon going to expend that. And well worth it. They'll bring down that mid laner finally from LVT's side.
They used a lot on that though. It's a heavy investment for them to be able to kill her, but worth it in the end. Like you were mentioning when he was running through the creeps, also, I mean, that also turned off battery salt, so I think it actually made Luna be able to run away, but that was a really close engagement there by the creeps. But Luna living, I think, pretty crucial for paiN. I think it's going to be Helm the Dominator for the Luna, so
yeah,
have to assume that paiN are in this game for the long haul.
It seems as though the early mech on Soon kind of indicates otherwise, but I mean, they haven't gotten too active. The one lasso used mid lane, and the lack of farm on these supports, which are such good supports to have late game once BKB durations start to dwindle down in the Lina and the Lion, probably means that they really do want to take this a little bit later till they get some of those better items like the Blink and the Yules up.
Continuing on here, I think Leviathan need to concentrate on trying to get a couple more Goffs and really creating some space for themselves. And we'll see if they're able to do that. I mean, I think they should be able to with this Aegis. Their goal is just going to be to get some towers on their side and start the snowball, really, and just really make it so they're able to just, you know, start getting some buildings. So they're a little bit afraid of the Luna Eclipse, and the Aegis is a good way to deal with that. You know, you just send in the troll, kind of force them to use some abilities on them, and then send in the rest of the clowns, Spirit Breaker, Clockwork, stuff like that.
Tavo looking top lane in the tree line. Not going to find much here. Nusham's rotated out to the east. It looks like we may see aggression mount up on the tier 1 bottom. 4DR is here, only showing himself. Baga waiting in the wings. He's going to be hooked on. The Eclipse is ready. Charge is popped up as well. Eclipse is going to be canceled, though. And they'll bring him down. Jenkins going to get hexed up. The Dragon Slave flying through, but Jenkins a little too tanky. He's bottling up as well. Could look perhaps to survive here. The trees are down. The charge coming through. Gonna hit on 3. Rocket Flare is there as well. King RD getting low. Wave of Terror coming through. Viper Strike onto Nusham keeps him slowed though, and he won't be able to chase down King RD. Nusham should be brought down here. Firefly is gonna tick him low, but not quite dead. And they require one more right click from Soon. The charge is there to bring one down in the meantime. Double kill going the Viper's way. But either way, the Luna brought down again. Tavo gonna chase forward, trying to find Jenkins. He's gonna look to TP out here, and he will be successful in doing so.
Yeah, barely makes it out. Very, very, very close. Shibi is going for the Aghanims build on the Windrunner Aghanims first. Actually does have that completed now, so I'm not 100% sure how I feel about going Ags first. Sometimes I think it's valuable to go for damage item first, like Maelstrom or something. But I can definitely understand why he did do that. So Shibi going to be right-clicking away with Focus Fire.
Yeah, I like the Maelstrom build as well. It helps you farm quicker into that Aghanims thereafter. But either way, definitely going to be effective. Sub 16 minutes in this one. 4DR dying for the third time in this one. The Luna keeping up in farm, but in terms of levels, is not even level 9 yet, is just going to hit that mark soon, but only Aquila, Treads, and the H-Dom available to her, looking a little bit less scary in this one. Don't know if Soon quite has the firepower to keep paiN's lineup afloat in these team fights. Everyone farming well for LVP side.
Yeah, and I have to say, the mech mana change, that was a little bit ago, but really hits Viper hard. Oh, nice juke by 4DR. That was really, really nice. Yeah. Sees the rocket flare coming in, knows that there's going to be a hook, and dodges it. That was definitely a dead Luna too, so very important.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a good Eclipse either, but with this Blade Mail available now, Jenkins is pretty much guaranteed a solo kill every time he hooks in onto 4DR before at least a BKB is picked up.
A very aggressive build by Jenkins to go for this Blade Mail. It just means, I mean, it pretty much affirms what we thought they were going to do, which is just keep trying to get Goffs. And now, this could be a big engagement onto Shredder. It does have the Aegis still. Oh, Tavo getting turned on is a big issue. They're not going to get the lasso out. I don't know. It's going to be really close. No, he's going to go down. Great swap by Flying Zebra. That's going to make the Spirit Breaker safe. Flying Zebra, he's going to pay and die, but the Spirit Breaker makes it out in the end.
It was a nice play early
by
Tavo there to sit just on the edge of the high ground so that the Spirit Breaker was on the low ground when he finished his charge. But either way, still not getting the lasso off, as you mentioned. Great swap as well. Nusham making it out with a sliver of HP. And all of a sudden, the Spirit Breaker starting to find his momentum here. 2-2-2 is Nusham. He's going to charge towards this bot lane just to get out of base quickly. But they really are keeping the pressure mounted on paiN's side. And they haven't been able to farm.
That's the key.
Yeah, they haven't been able to farm anywhere and find space for these cores. Tavo not been effective with this Blink Lasso as well. It's a level 2 Lasso at this point. So LVT controlling the tempo of the game, not allowing this Batrider to snowball.
This Lina is the same level as the Luna, which is good, I guess, for the Lina, but not what you're looking for the Luna. And you already touched on this earlier, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think the next item is going to be for the Luna here? I have to imagine it's probably like a Yasha or something. Needs to get, yeah, it has the Band of Elden skin, so probably just going to be a Yasha, increase the farm speed. But you know, I think the question for me is, if you go for a BKB, when do you do it? And do you even go for a BKB this game? I mean,
it's hard to say. I mean,
how good is it? Like, it stops the Venge stun, I guess, but if Lina gets enough, or I don't know, it just seems mediocre this game.
I really think the only thing it protects you from is being solo killed by Jenkins, because you've got the swap.
So do you think that's important enough where they go for it?
I mean, speaking of Jenkins, hook shot in onto King RD. Charge not even going to be necessary. The mech is there. It's a little late, but it's going to trap 2 in the cogs. Baga going to get off a nice impale. Jenkins trying to TP out. Finger Death will be there. Lasso used as well. And the swap to the high ground going to keep Nusham safe. Probably going to spell the death of Flying Zebra here. Overall, 2 for 1 going the way of the Radiant side. But Lasso used a little bit inefficiently there. Maybe could have got them more kills if it was held on to. Either way, wanted to secure Jenkins' clockwork. Yeah, they're actually going to find him mid lane. He's going to use the Nether Strike, but the uphill attack's going to give Soon a triple kill on the Viper. All of a sudden, he is nipping at the heels of the Troll and the Wind Ranger. And with this tier 1, he'll probably catch up right to the Troll at this point.
Yeah, this is the scary part of the Viper. He just gets a couple kills like this, gets himself an Aghanims, and he is going to be off to the races in the next couple of minutes here. Good farm on the Viper, and he has just been a killing machine now. 7-1. 100 CS at right around 20 minutes, so he's just on par, doing exactly what he needs to be doing, just dominating the early game, and now with the Aghanims in the mid game, he's gonna have a lot of good tools to try to deal with this Troll.
Yeah, I guess kudos to paiN for this pick, because we mentioned in the draft that he's really not this ideal pickoff target for a Spirit Breaker centered lineup, and they never really brought him down except very early on in that mid lane when they committed 4 heroes for it. So them just not trying to go for him has given him a lot of space. 7-1-1, as you mentioned. Full Aghanims up 20 minutes on top of the mechanism, and now he's going to be able to kite around these melee cores pretty effectively.
Yeah, so really the big issue at this point is just under farm of the Luna, but she'll be able to catch up. I mean, Luna traditionally is not a great farmer in the early game, but wow, Jenkins going on Soon here. This is a really aggressive attempt. Nah, that's not going to happen. I mean, Soon has so much HP, 1500 HP, Plus, having the mechanism available, it's going to
17
take a
stick
lot of
charges
resources
as
to
well.
kill him. But they get a
Shackle!
great latch. What is this? How does he latch on the Batrider back there? There's a whole field of trees in front of him. I don't get that ability
There
sometimes.
must be some priority there. A little bit of luck from Shibby, but well
Nice
timed.
luck,
She will get
please.
lassoed back. Eclipse going to be there. Laguna Blade?
Yeah, that would be necessary.
Gonna be used. Not even, doesn't even get the kill. So I don't even know if the damage instance was actually registered there. But either way, I'm just gonna ensure that this Wind Ranger is dead. Viper for Wind Ranger, kind of still a good trade for LVT here, considering what was expended and that the Viper was 7-1.
I have to be honest though, I think getting trade kills in general is just amazing for paiN because
When you're behind, for sure.
Yeah, like I mean they're pretty close, right? But like paiN getting these trade kills and just staying even remotely even against this this lineup with the troll in it, I think is really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Laguna D-Bluff, no damage though coming through.
Rip.
Sweet ultimate. Force Staff going to be purchased up by King RD as opposed to the Yule Scepter here. Interesting choice. Maybe that was Panic Bot before death because she does have the Sage's Mask. A little bit odd to see that recipe in her stash, but either way, a little bit high on the levels as you mentioned earlier. Level 11 Lina is the highest of all 4 supports, so they have been diligent enough about giving King RD
really
some
good
farm.
Yeah, I voiced my concerns about that earlier, and they've done a really, really good job of addressing that, just getting as much farm as possible onto the Lina, making sure that she gets levels. And having level 11, it's big. I mean, getting that second level of ultimate, it's a pretty big upgrade. Now it has the Force Staff as well. Yeah, this Lina's doing really well. I'm happy that it's sort of worked out for them because Lina's not a support that does very well with no farm. You know, Force Staff helps you set up initiations or Yules. You know, you really do want to get that Aghanims, so
40R recovering decently
like
as well. He's actually eclipsed the Troll Warlord in terms of CS at this point, just barely. Still needs a little bit more farm to her name. 1,300 gold in her pockets on top of that Yasha. So, do you expect her to pick up the full Manta in this one?
Probably. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't really. It's just gives you some HP. Might wait a little bit. I mean, you don't have to get it now.
Yeah.
The Yasha is really, really good because it gives you some speed, extra damage to farm. I think he's gonna go BKB first actually. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a
we
catch
had this
22.
discussion earlier, but I think it just makes sense to go BKB this game. Like just getting wrecked by the clockwork is really obnoxious for the Luna.
The blade mail itself is almost enough.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Shredder's going to pick up his full SNY and is well on his way to his BKB as well. Just needs about 900 gold if he doesn't save for buyback to complete that up. And he's going to start to get scary. Shredder hasn't really been involved in too many of these engagements. Only involved in 3 of the 11 kills for Leviathan thus far. He will be involved in this smoke though. That's a 5-man smoke coming out from LVT. Rocket Flare going to scout the jungle out. Looks like it briefly scouted King RD, but the Radiant side seeing that rocket. Yeah. They're gonna back
they know that
right out.
That they're smoked up here, but it does mean that they're gonna get a Roshan out of it, which is really, really good. I mean, now is the time I think for them to try to start to.
Yeah, certainly
a lot of money too.
Top lane as well. They're gonna look to find the classic Roshan for tier 1 trade, but it's a little too late to the fray was paiN, and there's a lot of TPs over on the LVT side, 4 to be exact. Only Flying Zebra doesn't have one. The charge coming through onto 40R is quite a ways away at this point, so they should bring down this tier 1 before it lands, but Rocket Flare just going to be a glancing blow as the side of paiN retreats out. Tavo looking to aggressively find something. The hook is barely short of the Batrider here.
Really close.
On Jenkins. It may have been Jenkins' death, though, if that lands. Probably a little bit fortunate that he doesn't hit that beam, as the rest of his lineup was well behind him.
Yeah, and now that they have the BKB on the troll, it is go time for Leviathan. I think this is a key point for them. It's possible they do wait for maybe the Spirit Breaker to have it too, but that's a little ways off. Any other core items they should really wait for? Yeah, they'll probably wait for the Daedalus. Shibby.
Yeah,
that's a huge item.
Kind of come out of nowhere as well, and on top of the Aghanims
he's just been slowly farming. Got the Chrysalis a little bit ago. Now he has the Demon Edge. And he's going to do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And I kind of like this because If Luna does go for the BKB, well, that's okay. I'll just right click you and kill you because it still does not have a lot of HP. A couple fortunate crit procs will mean a very quick death for the Luna. So I like this decision in the end by Shibby. You know, we talked earlier about the fact that it's a little unusual. Well, we're not unusual, but it's just a little bit. You know, it's a decision when you go Ags first or not, and it's worked out for him. I think just because he's gotten this next item so quickly.
Yeah, Bounty Rune's going to give Shibby the level 16 as well, so that's kind of a big upgrade at this point, especially having the Aghanim's going to do a lot more right-click and help with the push as well. Of course, Shredder adding the Battle Trance to the lineup should mean a quick amount of physical or amount of structural damage that LVT is able to put out if they can off the back of a couple pickoffs. Jenkins already in the front lines looking for a hook with this invisibility rune. May have jumped into the periphery of vision there of the tower, but I don't believe so. Still think he's under cover here. Soon gonna walk forward. Not the most ideal target for this hook shot, but Shredder just gonna chip away at this tier 2. Should be able to bring it really low, if not down. Shibby.
I get it.
Yep, Shibby gonna pick it up.
A problem though. Like,
yeah, certainly so.
Viper has so much HP, it's gonna be hard for them to really bring him down, so I think they might just try to avoid like killing the Viper for a little bit at least.
Yeah, the only one problem is he has this spammable Viper Strike that he can drop on all these cores. So they're going to have to take engagements on their terms, no doubt. King RD going to be charged up. It's going to get canceled. Top lane, but the tier 2, a little bit vulnerable to this push. Once again, Battle Trance still available to
it's definitely going to die.
The dire side. The Focus Fire is going to be expended here for Shibby, and that's a quick tier 2 dropping paiN's way. That's their last outer tier tower at this point, and it's going to be a little bit hard for them to find farm here after.
Yeah, and they're going to get a little bit squeezed at this point, which is definitely a problem. They still have the Aegis. When is that going to expire? It's got a couple minutes left, so Leviathan still have some opportunities here to continue trying to push. I have to imagine they're going to try to smoke or something before they actually move into the base, or try to move into the base. I don't think they can actually push into this like full 5-man lineup, especially with the Viper.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's gonna, if they can like kill the Luna before the fight starts, or maybe the Lina. The Lion does not. I don't know how consequential the Lion is, or even like the Bat Rider. If they can kill anyone, but I think basically they'll probably have a window of opportunity here. Now they have the BKB on Nushim as well, so I think.
Yeah, 2 BKBs.
They're really going to be pushing this.
2 BKBs, Aegis available to them, and already Shredder with the Force staff available to get himself out of danger. As long as they get vision, I feel, from the charge on at least one of these heroes, and Jenkins is able to hook in, I think they can go straight high ground without a pick-off outside of the base. They do have this Aegis and 2 BKBs available now, so we'll see what they opt for. Aegis is actually only available for another 40 seconds, though, so they are going to have to make quick work of it if they choose to do so.
That's a key point. 40 seconds left on the Aegis, then time is running out, and it looks like they might actually wait for another one.
Yeah, they're going to have some illusions from Jenkins, look to scout things out, but not going to find much. The Dire Vision is actually pretty limited at this point. Just the one high ground ward in the Radiant jungle and one near the Roche pit here, so they don't have too much information, as does the Radiant side at this point. They do have, of course, the Rocket Flare at their disposal, though.
It looks like they're actually going to put some pressure on the bottom lane. Shredder is not around, and it's going to be a long duration Roshan.
Blink picked up though by the Troll Warlord. Certainly a nice item for him. Allows him to jump in with the clockwork into the cog. Shouldn't be too worried about doing so, having that BKB available. So should be a quick pick off on any hero that gets initiated on by LVT here. No one except the Viper really can withstand both the clock and the Troll.
Yeah, and Leviathan, to be honest, they're just controlling the map right now, which I think is a really good goal for them. Just making it so the farm is a little bit less for paiN, slowly choking them out of this game. 40R, unfortunately, is still finding a lot of farm, but I think Leviathan might try to go a pick-off onto the Luna. They're still kind of just rambling around the jungle here, but with the Lion right behind the Luna, that's actually kind of difficult for them to do, so I think they're going to be happy with just trying to farm as much of the map as possible until the next is, and then after that they'll try to win the game.
Yeah, and they definitely have the ability to do so. I mean, you see how scared paiN is playing at this point. They picked up a gem to try and deny some aggressive vision from LVT side. They're using the courier to scout out the hill there, but they're not going to find any, and really none of their cores are farming too well. King RD is top lane, has that Yules and the Force, so feeling pretty safe. Tavo has the Force and the Blink as well, is building into a BKB of his own, but they're going to have to back out of this lane now as most of LVT reconvenes up here, and it's playing pretty scared for them.
Trivia time from Modpacks. What hero has the highest win rate in 6.83 that has been picked more than 25 times? Any guesses?
Well, I mean, I guess the obvious one.
The obvious one would be Troll.
Yeah, because he's in the game, or Sniper, who isn't. But I just feel like they've been picked so much that there have to be quite a few losses for them too.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe there's the one that's like unusual that
I'm
has
gonna
just
say like maybe
wins.
Venge. I'm gonna go with Venge. If it's Spirit Breaker, I'll just drop the stream and quit.
And it's in the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Venge.
Well,
could be Lion.
Yeah, that seems like a possibility. I don't know. I mean, the easy answer is Troll. I'm gonna stick with the easy answer.
God damn, obvious answers. Modpacks, please. It's a Troll question. Shredder gonna miss his range whirling axis top. Not gonna matter much. Gonna continue to farm away here. The net worth gap starting to widen for the Dire side here, as 4DR hasn't really found much on the map, being a little bit scared to leave their base. Not too big though at this point. 6k about in the way of net worth and experience at pretty much equilibrium at this point. 9 to 11, 32 minutes in. Pretty uneventful game. Shibby though gonna find a solo kill onto Tavo's Bat Rider, and not even needing the focus fire, the charge gonna come through, kill him off with a couple right clicks and the power shot.
Luna. Huh. Okay.
I didn't even know Luna was picked more than like 10 times in this patch, but I mean, it is a physical damage
I guess this
meta,
patch
right?
has been going on for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually so sick of this patch. I think everyone is so sick of this patch.
Ice Frog, please.
Oh my god, I feel like we've been playing on this patch for a year. I just, I don't know.
I really like this patch for a long while, but yeah, I've seen enough of Troll, Jug, and Sniper for sure. So at least want to see those heroes get hit a little bit, if not the Mask of Madness for sure. Impale going to whiff out bot lane. Nice blink dodge as well from Shredder to dodge that Viper Strike. It's going to be down for a couple seconds, but will be up. He's going to Battle Trance with the Focus Fire. They're going to look to put a lot of chip damage into this tier 3, but Glyph will back them off for now. However, really nothing too much of value expended by LVT for some free chip damage. Focus Fire going to come off cooldown soon. Battle Trance as well, and they're keeping diligent about spotting the Roche Pit, which is up in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, and this is after this is going to be Leviathan's opportunity, I think. They've got the Centaur in the pit to know exactly when it comes up. But paiN know that this is an objective for Leviathan. They are heading right up towards the Oroche pit. 5-man smoke here. And this engagement could very, very easily decide who wins the game.
Yeah, they're going to look to see if their smoke pops. It will not, and the counter smoke's going to come out. Tavo does have the flying vision, but doesn't walk over to the east here.
Well, they're going for the full backstab.
The smoke is going to expire now for the Radiant side as well. This could be very dangerous for them. Baga going to get scouted uphill. And charge will be their magic missile. Whoa. Everything just blowing up this Lion. Nice Nether Strike onto 4DR as well. The LSA is going to hit on 2 though, and Eclipse going to be popped from the high ground, but all the BKBs from LVT keeping them safe, and everyone surviving despite a very nice stun coming out from the Lina. And now this is a free Roshan forfeit over to LVT and possibly some structural damage hereafter.
Yeah, and I think that is going to be Leviathan's ticket into the base here.
It's third Roche as well.
It's really hard for them to hold it. Yeah,
so Cheese over to the Wind Ranger. Lincoln Sphere even up on Shibby now, so should be able to dish out a huge amount of damage for this Wind Ranger charge. Going to be queued up mid lane towards Tavo, but immediately stopped, and they're just going to look to push this wave out with the Rocket Flare and maybe reset, regen up, and look to go high ground with this Aegis. Seems like the right call to make.
Now Leviathan are going to try to end the game, I think, or at least get a lane of racks in their favor. Shibby with the cheese is going to be heading down the bottom lane, and Shredder may be the one to lead the way here.
20 seconds on his BKB.
He has a lot of money.
He needs to be a little careful.
Do you think he goes for like Satanic here, or does he go for a damage item?
I would I would like to see something damage-oriented. I think Butterfly is pretty
my.
underwhelming in this one, though. So maybe Scotty up against all this magic damage would be probably the right call for the Troll here. Gives him a little bit of everything. Has quite a bit of gold, so he's able to pick that up pretty soon. Doesn't quite have enough for it at this point, but with the Aegis feeling pretty beefy, see if he looks to jump and initiate. BKB is now off of cooldown for Shredder. Aghanim's just picked up as well by Jenkins. Nice Shackle going to land onto 2. And the LSA will be there to try and back them off, but Soon is going to go down. That's the tankiest target. He's got no buyback available as well. Soon to drop after is Tavo. Nice hook shot into Baga as well. Cog's going to force him back. One last right click out onto the Lion. 4DR with his BKB up will get back into the base, but actually picked up with the win run there. Sorry for missing that one, boys.
A monster in this fight, man. He is doing so much damage.
Yeah, the Viper holding his own in lane, but
one shackle shot basically.
Shibby has gone absolutely nuts, using the cheese there, and that one easy melee racks going down here in the bot lane. Easy lane of racks altogether. No buybacks on any of these heroes. They can just mega creep at this point.
Yeah, we're done. Game's over, I think. Honestly, no way that they can get back into this one. Shibby has focus fire now for another set of racks, and then he's gonna have it again in 10 seconds. Yeah, they're just gonna call it.
King RD,
yeah,
a little bit of
honestly,
split push.
I think Leviathan, it just cleared out enough room. Luna was just struggling. Not enough farm. 0-5 on the Luna.
Yeah, maybe the wrong decision going for that aggressive try. Perhaps just really well dealt with from LVT there. Either way, paiN going to start off 0-2 in the group stage for Group A here, and it's certainly the toughest group considered by most people in the bracket, so it's going to be tough for them. They're going to have to pick up their socks here. Up next, guys, 2 winners thus far of the night, both winless. Someone going to go home 1-1. Someone going to end up 2-0 today. Summer's Rift up against LVT. So stay tuned for that one. BSJ looking like a monster in the first game of the night. Shibby looking equally dangerous in this one. So any last thoughts on the game, Greg?
Nothing too overwhelmingly intellectual, but just well played by Leviathan.
Yeah, certainly so. So, guys, stay tuned. Next game coming at you very soon. Leviathan versus Summer's Rift.